I'm one of those people who love, so everything that I do goes back to love and trying to spread love throughout everyone I come into contact with, because for me that's the most important thing. That is the vibration that we should be connecting to. My name is Soloman the Wizard. I am a poet who lives in Tottenham, but I don't class myself as being from Tottenham. I'd say I'm from where my mum's from, which is the hills in Jamaica. That's home for me. And what I do is I write from a space of love and light so that I can spread that vibration throughout all that can hear. I have a very long route in. I've been best friends with Samuel King for a very long time, so his journey through the spoken word scene was basically I was there for all of it. So I had that route in, so I knew it existed, but it wasn't until I went to Jamaica last year and reconnected with the land and opened up to the energies that be, that I really found myself, and I had encouragement from other people to write how I feel and what I'm feeling and all of those things. So when I came back from Jamaica, one day I just had a very open conversation with Sam, one that I hadn't ever had before because I didn't used to speak. I used to keep everything inside. So I had an open conversation, and then on my way home, I just started writing. And I sent it to him straight away so that there'd be accountability, so I wouldn't go back into my shell. Yeah. And from then, everything just flowed. I may not be the voice of the revolution, but I am the word. Not heard, but felt in every exodus moving verb. The knowledge I possess inspires the preachy to touch curb. I'm the inspiration for aspirational shepherds to fetch a herd. My word sharpens the mind of the awe-inspiring, poetically flaunting their gifts. That means in this battle I am the wordsmith's wordsmith. I write fully blown scriptures and hear it in verses. But it's me versus the forces of evil. Op boys who spray toys and make noise to distract us from the right choice, which will always be the good of our boys. Elevate those around you and a collective reality improves. The relationship between Merlin and Arthur just proves that there are gifts that have been implanted in a select few, and it's our duty to have the conversations that make moves. I do not seek glory in this legendary story, for I am the wizard. My words, incantations that give formations to blizzards, coherently organizing luminary deliverance. That's cold. That's cold. The power I channel comes from within. My ancestors vibrate through everything that I utter, telling me they cannot feel my truth if I mutter, so I must speak with my soul. I literally had to go back to the mountain to find myself. I had to reconnect with nature to redefine myself. Squinting in the light of the moon, struggling to read the fine print of my spiritual contract, in which it says not that I must be in contact with those that wish to cause harm. Those who cannot gaze upon a lake of tranquility and feel their spirit calm. How does your spirit not calm? How does your spirit not calm? How does your spirit not rest when you have been blanketed by the moon? How do you not know that you are blessed? This is nourishment for the soul. So relinquish control. Find peace in uncertainty and you'll find the path to your goal. After you will find the path to the throne. Your voice is a weapon, so pull the sword from the stone. We are the revolution.
I like the fact that it's like you almost had to go back home to like reconnect again. I think for a lot of us in this like city landscape, we kind of get stuck with the hustle and bustle of just doing stuff, and it's just hard to be free. I think, is there anything in particular about being home that really kind of started that chain reaction?
Nature. Being up in the hills, seeing all of the greenery, hearing all of the sounds. Like, at no point while I was there, up at my grandma's, was there silence. There was always natural music. Like, you could hear the crickets, you could hear like the little flapping of the bats, you can hear the crickets. It was amazing.
I do remember that sound from when I was younger. I think it's the first night you hear sound, you think, why is there a noise? And you just kind of get used to it. Mm-hmm. It's like, it just refreshes you as well. I mean, touching on that and seeing how you were inspired by the nature to kind of restart, what else inspires you when you create poetry?
Love. I'm one of those people who love. So everything that I do goes back to love and trying to spread love throughout everyone I come into contact with.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's the most important thing. That is the vibration that we should be connecting to.
And that's what resonated with me when I saw you at Box Park, 'cause you performed that Boxed In, I think it's a couple months ago. And I was just seeing and hearing how you performed, and just especially the people that came before you and those that came after, you definitely stood out amongst them. And you had like a very good message, and it was just very, very good to hear it. And I could see that the audience really, it took to them. So that I'd say to you, I commend you to that.
I appreciate that.
On that talk about like your performing and performing itself, when you're in an environment like that and you've obviously got a crowd in front of you, how do you want them to receive your poetry? What do you want them to feel from what they hear?
Really and truly, I don't want to put anything out there for them to feel. I want them to connect with whatever they connect to. But what I'm attempting, my intent is to spread love. So if they can grasp onto that, then that would be perfect for me. But really and truly, it's about whatever they connect to.
What's your creative process? So how do you go from having a rough idea to having a finished piece to performing it?
So I never actually have a rough idea. When I want to write, I try and find something to inspire me. But if there isn't anything, one time I actually wrote a piece addressing inspiration because I had no inspiration and it was bugging me. So it's usually just flowing with whatever comes.
You said that you live in Tottenham.
Yeah.
Obviously you say you're not from Tottenham.
I'm not from Tottenham, no.
But how has living in London shaped you and affected your work?
It's definitely affected me in the sense that I have no alternative reality. So all I know is growing up in this system. So everything I do is either in relation to the system or trying to do something outside of the system. So I feel like this system is very flawed, and all of my poetry is to try and bring people out of that system because this system isn't based on love, and I'm trying to spread love. This system is based on confinement and separation and all of those things.
So what keeps you going? What helps you continue to write? Because I know you post quite often on Instagram, like you do little, like you have little thoughts and little poems that you just sort of post up there. What keeps you doing this? What keeps you inspired?
Love. It all comes back to love, and it's loving what I do and loving love and trying to get people to connect to love. Because if you love and you love unconditionally, then you will always be in that space. You will always operate from that space, and that's what I intend to do and intend to spread. So that keeps me going, definitely.
What would you say is the best thing about performing your poetry?
The best thing about performing? Really and truly, it depends on the day. Sometimes there's just the buzz from performing. There's the high. But really and truly, the best times are when I'm off stage and someone comes to me and tells me that they connected to it, because then I know at least there's one person who has felt something and something's shifted in them.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. It's really moving.
That's amazing. When did you first start writing? How old were you? Was it recent or was it a long, long time ago?
That was last year, February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
So before that, I hadn't written anything since year 8. And year 8 was because I realized I was one of those spitters who were talking rubbish.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not having that. So I just retired and wrote nothing for about 10 years.
Oh, wow. So the gift was always in there. It was just a case of channeling it into the right avenue.
Yeah, I come from a family of writers. My mum, even if you go onto my Instagram and see the message that she left on my birthday, I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I come from a family of writers, which is beautiful.
And I guess that helps to support you and encourage you to keep going, because you know that you've got people around you who understand that. Obviously, when you have the creative writing block, and then when you have that kind of flow when it's just like the words just come and you just get to hit the metaphors and similes and just rhyme it all together. So that's perfect. I guess for the rest of this year, what's one thing you're looking forward to?
Going to Jamaica in August. Definitely, because it will be interesting to experience what it'd be like going back after I had that massive shift the last time I went. So I wonder what it would feel like and whether it will inspire me as much as it did the last time.
If you were to speak to that yourself from year 8, so looking at where you are now, what you're doing now, and how much you've shifted as a creative person, what would be the words of advice you'd give to yourself then?
Carry on doing what you're doing. Everything's meant to happen as it happens. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for what happened in year 8 and all of the things that unfolded in my life to get me here today. So you just gotta carry on being you.